Hello race fans, and welcome back for the start of round 2 here in the Next Gen Diecast Cup Series. Let's go ahead and introduce the 6 drivers of Group 1. Driving the number 1 Gear Wrench Chevrolet, Kurt Busch. Driving the number 12 Menards Ford, Ryan Blaney. Driving the number 13 Geico Chevrolet, Ty Dillon. Driving the number 14 Built Ford Proud Mustang, Clint Boyer. Driving the number 17 Sonny D Ford, Chris Buescher. And driving the number 88 Valvoline Chevrolet, Alex Bowman. Only the top 3 drivers will advance on to the final. We'll have 6 races today. For race number 1, Kurt Busch and Ryan Blaney start in row 1. Chris Buescher and Ty Dillon will start in row 2. And then it's Alex Bowman and Clint Boyer in row 3. We are ready to go racing. The gate drops. It's a great start for the outside lane. Blaney leads out of 2. Here comes Dillon. He's the second. Coming out of 4. Dillon sideways. He spins. Blaney wins. Big contact between Busch and Dillon. Dillon does hold on and take second over Busch. Then it's Buescher in 4th, Bowman in 5th, and Boyer with a DNF to start here in round 2. Good pass from Ty Dillon on Kurt Busch coming out of turn 2. Had a good run, gets sideways out of 4. Almost comes to a complete stop, and Kurt Busch gets into him. Big impact between the number 1 and number 13. Watch it one more time. We'll slow it down. The number 1 completely in the air after that impact. One of the hardest hits we've seen here in the Next Gen Diecast Cup Series. So after race number 1, Ryan Blaney leads. He's got 10 points. Ty Dillon with 6. Kurt Busch has 4. Chris Buescher with 3. Alex Bowman 2. And Clint Boyer with 0 after a DNF in the first race. We are ready to go for race 2. Ryan Blaney and Chris Buescher starting in row 1. Ty Dillon and Alex Bowman are starting in row 2. And then it's Clint Boyer and Kurt Busch starting in row 3. The gate drops and we are back at it. It's another good start for Blaney. He leads. He fends off the charge from Dillon. Buescher to second. Coming out of 4. Big lead for Blaney. He'll win back-to-back races. Buescher is sideways as they approach the finish line and they stack up behind him. Boyer comes through to finish here in race 2. Good battle for the lead. Blaney throwing the block on Dillon coming out of turn 2. That allowed Buescher to take second. And then Buescher gets sideways, spins right in front of Ty Dillon. Nowhere for Dillon to go, and they kind of stack up right behind Buescher as Buescher was able to hold on and take second. So it's a great start for Ryan Blaney here in round 2. He's got back-to-back wins and 20 points. Ty Dillon in second with 10 points. Chris Buescher in third with 9 points. Then we've got Kurt Busch with 6. Alex Bowman has 5. And Clint Boyer, he's on the board with 1 point. Not the start he was looking for, though. We are set for race number 3. Chris Buescher and Ty Dillon will start in row 1. Alex Bowman and Clint Boyer will start in row 2. And then Kurt Busch and Ryan Blaney will start in row 3. And the green flag is back out. Good battle between the 17 and 13. Buescher leads. Dillon gets into him, turns him around. Dillon to the lead. It's going to be Dillon winning the race, and then Buescher takes second back from Bowman in reverse just before the finish line. And Kurt Busch with the DNF here in race 3. He's stuck over in turn 4. What a battle for the lead. Buescher trying to throw the block. Dillon just cuts over, turns him around, and goes on to win the race. And then watch, Bowman's in second, hits the wall. Buescher in reverse, able to push his way through, take back the position. Very nicely done for Chris Buescher to come away with 6 points there after falling back to third. And after 3 races, Ryan Blaney will still lead. He's got 22 points. Ty Dillon, he's got 20 points now, just 2 points off of Blaney. Chris Buescher in third with 15. Alex Bowman has 9. Kurt Busch has 6. And Clint Boyer with 4. We are now at the halfway point here in Group 1. Ty Dillon and Alex Bowman will start in row 1. Clint Boyer and Kurt Busch starting in row 2. And then Ryan Blaney and Chris Buescher back in row 3. It's a terrific start for Ty Dillon. He'll lead into 1. Contact between Dillon and Bowman. Bowman sideways, Boyer to second. Coming out of turn 4, Dillon all by himself. He'll win back-to-back races. Boyer second, Bowman in third, and then it's Busch, Blaney, and Buescher. There was a lot of contact between the 13 and 88 coming out of turn 2. And that actually cost Bowman a position as Boyer went to second. Dillon would go on to win back-to-back races. And so far today, it has been the Ryan Blaney and Ty Dillon show, as they have both split with 2 wins each. So after race 4, Ty Dillon into the points lead. He's got 30 points. Ryan Blaney to second with 24. Chris Buescher still holding on to a spot in the top 3. He's got 16 points. Alex Bowman with 13. Clint Boyer has 10. And then Kurt Busch has 9. There are just 2 races left here in Group 1 of Round 2. Alex Bowman and Clint Boyer starting in row 1. Kurt Busch and Ryan Blaney starting in row 2. And then Chris Buescher and Ty Dillon starting in row 3. And here we go for race 5. Bowman's going to pull ahead of Boyer. He leads out of 2. Boyer sideways. He gets turned around. Coming out of 4, Bowman with a big lead. He'll win race 5. And Dillon all the way from the back to finish second. Boyer third, then Blaney, Busch, and Buescher. So as Boyer gets turned around in the mid-straight, Alex Bowman does a full 360 through turn 3. I didn't notice it in the race as we were watching the battle for second. Bowman still went on to win. And then Ty Dillon all the way from the back, starting in the outside of row 3, ends up finishing in second. Great run for Dillon. And 5 races in, Ty Dillon stretches his lead to 9 points over Ryan Blaney. Dillon has 36, Blaney with 27. Alex Bowman with the win in race 5 gets himself into the top 3. He's got 23 points. Chris Buescher outside of the top 3 now with 17. Clint Boyer has 14 and Kurt Busch with 11. Just one more race to go to see which of these 3 drivers will advance on to the final. Race number 6. Clint Boyer and Kurt Busch starting in row 1. Ryan Blaney and Chris Buescher starting in row 2. And then Ty Dillon and Alex Bowman starting in row 3. Final race, here we go. Great start for Boyer. He leads out of 2. Blaney in second. Dillon trying to hold on to third. And a race to the line. It's going to be Clint Boyer over Blaney. Dillon finishing in third. And then Busch wins the battle to the line for fourth. Ty Dillon and Kurt Busch would have a big battle for third. Dillon would end up hanging on to the position. And then Clint Boyer beat out Ryan Blaney by just a fender. And we had a good race to the line for fourth as well. So great race to end the day on. So here are the final standings for Group 1. Ty Dillon will win Group 1, finishing with 40 points. The first driver so far here in the Next Gen Diecast Cup Series to put up 40 points in one round. Dillon did not finish outside of the top 3 all day, so great run for Dillon. Ryan Blaney finishes in second with 33 points. And then Alex Bowman and Clint Boyer tie with 24 points each, and they both had one win, but Alex Bowman had the faster lap. That will give him the tiebreaker and allow him to secure a spot into the top 3. So Ty Dillon, Ryan Blaney, and Alex Bowman are your 3 drivers advancing on to the final. Clint Boyer, Chris Buescher, and Kurt Busch have officially been eliminated. Well, we saw some great racing today. We certainly hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you all again soon. Take care. Hello, race fans, and welcome back for the final group of Round 2 here in the Next Gen Diecast Cup Series. Let's go ahead and introduce today's 6 drivers. Driving the number 2 Discount Tire Ford, Brad Keselowski. Driving the number 4 Mobile One Ford, Kevin Harvick. Driving the number 6 Coke Ford, Ryan Newman. Driving the number 41 HaasTooling.com Ford, Cole Custer. Driving the number 43 U.S. Air Force Chevrolet, Bubba Wallace. Driving the number 48 Ally Chevrolet, Jimmy Johnson. The top 3 drivers at the end of today's 6 races will advance on to the final round. For race number 1, Brad Keselowski and Jimmy Johnson are starting in row 1. In row 2, it's going to be Kevin Harvick and Ryan Newman. And then starting in row 3, Bubba Wallace and Cole Custer. It is time to go racing. Keselowski storms into the lead. He leads him out of 2. Johnson into the wall and spins. Harvick trying to make a move on Johnson. Here they come to the line. Keselowski will take the win. Johnson able to fend off second in reverse over Harvick. Custer in 4th. And then Wallace and Newman have both come to a stop at the exit of turn 4. They'll score a DNF here in the first race. Johnson went hard into the wall coming out of turn 2, spun around. Harvick tries to make the move on the outside through 3 and 4, but Johnson able to keep up the momentum in reverse. Beats out Harvick by half a car length. What a race between the top 3. And then in turn 3, Custer ends up on top of Newman's car for just a second. And then Newman up on the wall just outside of turn 4. Bubba gets into him. He comes to a stop as well. Not the start those guys were looking for. So at the end of the first race, Brad Keselowski leads with 10 points. Jimmy Johnson has 6. Kevin Harvick with 4. Cole Custer has 3. And then Bubba Wallace and Ryan Newman have 0. We are ready to go for race 2. Jimmy Johnson and Kevin Harvick will start in row 1. Ryan Newman and Bubba Wallace will start in row 2. And then in row 3, it will be Cole Custer and Brad Keselowski. The gate drops and we are back racing. Good start for Harvick in the outside lane. A lot of contact. Harvick leads. Wallace to second. Out of 4, Harvick still leads. He'll win the race. Wallace second. Then it's Johnson, Custer, Keselowski, and Newman. A lot of contact between the 4 and 48 through 1 and 2. And then Harvick slams the door shut on Johnson exiting turn 2. Wallace able to make the pass on Johnson for second. And then Harvick will go on to win. So big win here in race 2 for Kevin Harvick. And 2 races in, Kevin Harvick to the points lead with 14 points. Brad Keselowski in second with 12 points. Jimmy Johnson in third with 10. Bubba Wallace is in 4th with 6. Cole Custer in 5th. He's got 6 as well. And then Ryan Newman with 1 point. The drivers are back up at the starting gate ready to go for race 3. Kevin Harvick and Ryan Newman are starting in row 1. In row 2, it's Bubba Wallace and Cole Custer. And then in row 3, it's going to be Brad Keselowski and Jimmy Johnson. The green flag is back out. Another good start for Harvick. He leads out of 2. Newman and Wallace battle for second. Wallace able to take over second. Coming down to the line, Harvick will win back-to-back races. And Cole Custer able to make the pass on Wallace to take second away. What a race. Good battle between the 6 and 43 all the way down the mid-straight. Wallace able to take second, and watch the number 41 of Cole Custer. Wallace gets into the wall and Custer comes out of nowhere, squeezes through, and takes away second to pick up a couple extra points. Big 2 points for Custer there. Great race to the line for second. And 3 races in, Harvick still leads. He's got 24 points, a 10-point lead over Brad Keselowski with 14. Cole Custer is in third with 12 points. Bubba Wallace and Jimmy Johnson tied with 10, and then Ryan Newman has 4. For race number 4, Ryan Newman and Bubba Wallace will start in row 1. And then starting in row 2, it's Cole Custer and Brad Keselowski. In row 3, it'll be Jimmy Johnson and Kevin Harvick. Here we go for race 4. Good battle between Newman and Wallace for the lead. Newman pulls ahead. Here comes Wallace. They're side by side through 3. Newman with the run out of 4. He'll win, and it's going to be Wallace just barely over Custer. Another very close finish between those 2 for second place. What a great battle between Newman and Wallace all the way down the mid-straight. Newman able to pull ahead and get the run coming out of turn 4. He would go on to win, and then Wallace just beating out Custer for second place. Another very close finish between those 2, and this time Wallace is able to pick up the 2 extra points. So at the end of race 4, Kevin Harvick still leading. He's got 25 points. Brad Keselowski in second with 17 points. Bubba Wallace and Cole Custer are tied with 16 points each. Ryan Newman has 14, and then Jimmy Johnson with 12. We have just 2 races to go. For race number 5, Bubba Wallace and Cole Custer will start in row 1. Brad Keselowski and Jimmy Johnson will start in row 2. And then in row 3, it's Kevin Harvick and Ryan Newman. It's a great start for Bubba Wallace. He leads them down into turn 1. Here's Keselowski and Custer battling for second. Out of 4, Wallace leads. He'll win, and it's Keselowski over Custer. Johnson finishing 4th, then it's Harvick and Newman. What a great battle between the 2 and 41. Door-to-door contact all the way down the mid-straight. More contact coming down to the line. Keselowski able to get it by about a fender. What a race between those two. And 5 races in, Kevin Harvick still leading, but his lead has shrunk to just 1 point over Bubba Wallace. Kevin Harvick has 27, Bubba Wallace with 26. Brad Keselowski holding on to the final spot in the top 3 right now with 23 points. Cole Custer has 20, and then Ryan Newman and Jimmy Johnson are tied with 15. With just 1 race to go, who's going to advance on to the final? Race number 6, Cole Custer and Brad Keselowski will start in row 1. In row 2, it's Jimmy Johnson and Kevin Harvick. And then starting in row 3, Ryan Newman and Bubba Wallace. And the final race of Group 2 is underway. Good battle between Custer and Keselowski. Custer will take the lead. Johnson to second. Coming out of 4, Custer wins. Johnson second. Then it's Keselowski, Harvick, and Newman. And Wallace spins and will stop short of the line. A DNF for Bubba Wallace here in the final race. There was some more great racing between the 41 and 2 going down into turn 1. Custer was able to take the lead out of 2. Johnson would get around Keselowski for second, but he could not run down Custer. Custer with a big win here in the final race. Wallace spinning and stopping short of the finish line. That DNF is going to hurt in the standings. So here are the final standings for Group 2. Kevin Harvick goes on to win Group 2. He finishes with 30 points. Cole Custer finishes in second, scoring 30 points as well, but Kevin Harvick did have the tiebreaker with the 1 extra win. Brad Keselowski finishes in 3rd with 27 points, and then Bubba Wallace finishes in 4th, just 1 point behind Keselowski with 26. The DNF in that last race proved to be detrimental to Wallace. Had he finished the race and picked up that 1 extra point, he would have had the tiebreaker on Keselowski with the faster lap today. But scoring the DNF in the final race, Bubba Wallace, unfortunately, will join Jimmy Johnson and Ryan Newman, and those 3 have been eliminated. Kevin Harvick, Cole Custer, and Brad Keselowski will be moving on to the final round. We'll take a quick look at the team standings here at the end of round 2. Dacia Motorsport continuing to lead with 131 points, but Down Squad Racing has certainly closed the gap, just 5 points back now with 126. Steaming Motors in 3rd with 97. JK Racing is 94, and then LNTG Revival Racing rounding out the top 5 with 83 points. We want to say thank you to everyone for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you all again soon. Take care. Hello, race fans, and welcome back to Next Gen Diecast for the final round of the Next Gen Diecast Cup Series. Let's go ahead and introduce our 6 finalists. Driving the number 2 Discount Tire Ford, Brad Keselowski. Driving the number 4 Mobile One Ford, Kevin Harvick. Driving the number 12 Menards Ford, Ryan Blaney. Driving the number 13 Geico Chevrolet, Ty Dillon. Driving the number 41 HaasTooling.com Ford, Cole Custer. Driving the number 88 Valvoline Chevrolet, Alex Bowman. One of these 6 drivers will walk away with the championship here today. For race number 1, Ty Dillon and Ryan Blaney will start in row 1. In row 2, it's Kevin Harvick and Cole Custer. And then in row 3, Brad Keselowski and Alex Bowman. We are ready to go racing. The gate drops and the final round is underway. Great start for Ty Dillon. He leads out of 2, but he spins. Blaney and Harvick go around him. Harvick to the lead out of turn 4. Harvick will win the first race. Blaney second, Dillon third. Then it's Keselowski, Custer, and Bowman. Dillon had the lead. He got loose, spun coming out of turn 2. It opened the door for Blaney and Harvick to drive around him. And then Harvick, with a ton of momentum on the outside, exiting turn 4, is able to make the pass on Blaney and win the first race of the final round. Kevin Harvick leads with 10 points. Ryan Blaney finishes second. He picks up 6 points. Ty Dillon in third with 4. Brad Keselowski has 3 points. Cole Custer with 2, and Alex Bowman with 1. We are set for race number 2. Ryan Blaney and Kevin Harvick will be starting in row 1. In row 2, it's Cole Custer and Brad Keselowski. And then back in row 3, Alex Bowman and Ty Dillon. The gate drops and we are back racing. Good battle for the lead between Harvick and Blaney. Blaney leads, but Harvick turns him around. 3 wide into turn 3. Harvick's going to take the lead. He'll win back-to-back races. Bowman second, Blaney third. Custer finishes 4th, Dillon in 5th. And Brad Keselowski will score a DNF here in race 2. He's stuck over in the grass in turn 4. What a wild race. Kevin Harvick turned Blaney around, and then they were 3 wide going into turn 3. Harvick able to cut down in front of Bowman to hold on to the lead. Custer had forced Keselowski into the grass. Harvick went on to win back-to-back races to start here in the final. And for the first time in 10 races, Ty Dillon finishes outside of the top 3. He had 9 straight races finishing in the top 3. So 2 races in, Kevin Harvick, he's got 20 points, a 10-point lead over Ryan Blaney with 10 points. Alex Bowman in third with 7. Ty Dillon in fourth with 6. Cole Custer has 5. And Brad Keselowski has 3. For race number 3, Kevin Harvick and Cole Custer will start in row 1. In row 2, it's Brad Keselowski and Alex Bowman. And then in row 3, Ty Dillon and Ryan Blaney. And they are off for race 3. Good start for Harvick. He leads into turn 1, but he gets spun around. Harvick straightens it back out, but Cole Custer makes the pass for the lead. Custer will win race 3. Harvick second. And then it'll be Bowman in the race to the line for third. Dillon fourth. Blaney fifth. Keselowski in 6th. It was Brad Keselowski that turned Harvick around in turn 2. Harvick bounces off the wall, gets it straightened back out, but then Cole Custer on the inside makes the pass going into turn 3 and was able to go on and win. Harvick still a solid run, though. He is yet to finish outside of the top 2 here in the final. And now 3 races in, Kevin Harvick will still hold on to the points lead. He's got an 11-point lead over Cole Custer. Harvick has 26. Custer has 15. Blaney in third with 12 points. Bowman in fourth. He's got 11 points. Dillon back in 5th with 9. And then Keselowski in 6th with 4 points. And we are halfway through now, just 3 races to go. For race number 4, Cole Custer and Brad Keselowski will start out front. And then in row 2, it's Alex Bowman and Ty Dillon. And back in row 3, it's going to be Ryan Blaney and Kevin Harvick. And here we go for race 4. Good battle for the lead between Custer and Keselowski. They're door-to-door down the mid-straight. Custer pulls ahead. Ty Dillon around Keselowski for second. It's a race to the line, and it's going to be Ty Dillon taking the win away from Cole Custer. Dillon wins by less than 1/100th of a second. What a battle all the way down to the line in that race. Custer holding on to the lead out of turn 4, but then he got sideways, hit the wall, and it opened the door for Ty Dillon to come through and take the win. Watch it one more time. Custer into the wall, and then Dillon actually gets into Custer, kind of pushes his way through there, and then wins by inches. A big win for Ty Dillon here in race 4 as he moves into the top 3 in the standings. Mark that win down for Ty Dillon if he comes back to win this championship. Kevin Harvick still leading 4 races in. He's got 29 points. Cole Custer in second with 21. Ty Dillon in third. He's got 19. Ryan Blaney in fourth. He's got 14. And then it's Alex Bowman in fifth with 12. And Brad Keselowski with 8. Just 2 more races to go here in the final round. For race number 5, Brad Keselowski and Alex Bowman. will start in row 1. In row 2, it's Ty Dillon and Ryan Blaney. And then in row 3, Kevin Harvick and Cole Custer. And the gate drops for race 5. Keselowski and Bowman door-to-door into 1. Keselowski pulls ahead out of 2. Dillon's around. Dillon trying to hold on to second in reverse. Keselowski will win race 5. Dillon second. And then it's Bowman, Blaney, Custer, and Harvick. Great run for Keselowski coming out of turn 2. Dillon sideways spins around coming out of turn 2, but in reverse, able to hold on to second over Alex Bowman. Gets into the wall coming out of turn 4, still able to hold on to second as Brad Keselowski picks up his first win of the final round. And 5 races in, the gap has closed to the lead. Ty Dillon now just 5 points behind Kevin Harvick. Kevin Harvick with 30. Ty Dillon has 25. Cole Custer has 23. Brad Keselowski with 18. Ryan Blaney has 17. And Alex Bowman with 16. So one more race to go, and it is between Kevin Harvick, Ty Dillon, and Cole Custer. One of those 3 guys will walk away with the championship. One final race. Bowman and Dillon starting out front. Blaney and Harvick starting in row 2. And then back in row 3. It'll be Custer and Keselowski. Here we go for the final race of the Next Gen Diecast Cup Series. Bowman with a great start leads him into turn 1. Dillon shoots out of 2 into the lead. Ty Dillon leading out of turn 4. He'll win. Where will Harvick finish? Harvick's back in 4th, and that should be enough for Ty Dillon to win the championship. What a run for Ty Dillon. Watch him coming through 1 and 2. He shot out of a cannon coming out of turn 2 as he shoots past Alex Bowman to take the lead. He didn't look back, goes on to win his second race of the final round, and that will be good enough to give Ty Dillon the championship here in the Next Gen Diecast Cup Series. Ty Dillon wins it, finishes with 35 points. Kevin Harvick in second, just 2 points behind with 33. Cole Custer finishes in third. He's got 25 points. And then Alex Bowman was in 4th with 22. Ryan Blaney ends up 5th with 21. And then it's Brad Keselowski back in 6th place with 19 points. What a final. A lot of exciting racing. And Chevrolet and Ty Dillon excited to bring home the title. We'll take a quick look at the final results of the team standings. Dacia Motorsport winning the team championship. Down Squad Racing finishes in 2nd. They were able to close the gap to just 3 points, but couldn't quite get the job done. Steaming Motors able to round out the podium, finishing in 3rd. And then we had LMTG Revival Racing and Anderson Autosport to round out the top 5. Thank you to everyone who participated in the team event. And there is Ty Dillon and his number 13 Geico Chevrolet as he celebrates winning the title here in the Next Gen Diecast Cup Series. We want to say thank you to everyone for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you all next time. Take care.